Hi there, I'm Anna Prosser-Robinson for GameSpot, here in the EA booth at E3 2014. Standing here with Brian, who is the Presentation Director for Madden 15. What does a Presentation Director do?
Kind of everything. He works on timing, pacing, making sure that we're paying off great moments in the game, telling stories. It's kind of all-encompassing. Yeah.
So is that why you would say you love games, is telling the story?
Telling the story. I love telling the story of the game. I think in a normal football play, there's so much stuff that's happening, and we're just trying to pay things off like that. We're trying to say that, big play happens. How do you see the celebrations? How do you see the, or how do you see the person who's just really upset with the play that he just had? Things like that. So.
Absolutely. Well, I was telling you, I'm a big Seahawks fan, and so I've been really excited to see my boy Richard Sherman up here, and all of my favorite Seahawks players in trailers for Madden. And I love the story of football too. I think that's why I got so into football, was the story of those players and why I've become more interested in sports games. So how is that story going to be shown in Madden? What are in this version of Madden? How are we going to get immersed this time?
Well, the biggest thing's probably our post play. That's how you tell stories, right? Like we just said. For us, it used to be where we would cut away immediately after the play and it's more like hiding what's going on, right? This year, everyone's alive. Our world's alive. So, after big plays, after touchdowns, everyone's celebrating. If someone falls down, a guy comes over and picks them up. That's how we're really going to show off the stories this year. For us, it's a really big deal that we're not hiding anything. We're staying on the field, and that's what we wanted to do.
Very cool. And so as those stories develop, we're going to be able to see them more vividly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the graphic fidelity this year is incredible. We finally have a Gen 4 game here. I mean, I'll tell you what, for me it's the helmets. Like, you're a Seattle fan, so we have the shiny and the matte on the helmet, right? And we see that. And you can look at it so close, and we have shots to pay that off. It just looks brilliant.
Wow, so you really get the sense that you're seeing those actual players as opposed to more like gamified representations of them.
Yeah, it's so for 8 years, I was an Emmy Award-winning director of photography with NFL Films. And so for me, I've been on hundreds of football fields. And when I play this game, I have some, like a deja vu moments, right? Where it's like, I feel like I've been there before. Like, I feel like, is that kind of reality? It's pretty cool.
Very cool. So,
yeah. Sorry, it fools us.
Oh, yeah. So having been someone that's been that close to these real games, how does it feel to kind of be able to create them yourself the way that you would like to see them?
I mean, it's so much easier and so much more difficult. I mean, it's for us, it's like, your imagination is endless, right? And so it keeps turning and turning and turning, and you want to do so much that you can't do everything. And then also just staying true to the fans and what the fans want for us. So we kind of look at it as a hyper broadcast. So we can break the rules, but we are very cognizant of which rules we're breaking.
Okay, so we know that the emotional aspect, the visual aspect is really evolving here. What about the gameplay itself? Are there going to be any big changes to that?
Huge changes. I mean, first of all, quarterback accuracy is really, really important this year, right? So quarterback accuracy, that's offense. But for defense, we actually we're saying defense is fun this year. Like, usually I'm like a detriment to my own gameplay when I play defense. So I wanted to really have a gameplay where I can actually play defense and actually impact the game. And so what we have going on this year is we have offensive line jump to snap plays. We have great zone coverage. We went out to actual defensive backfield players from the NFL, and they kind of said, well, this is actually how I would react to that play. And we listened to them, right? We listened to the pros in the industry. So for that, we also have effort catches, which is really neat. Incomplete passes, things like that, where you actually see a receiver commit, dive, reach for it, and everything like that. So it's pretty cool.
So working with those actual players to create their likenesses in a game, what has that been like, and how much of the real players are we seeing reflected in this game?
Oh, we're seeing a lot of it. We're seeing a lot of it. First of all, in image, right, in player likeness. You look at it, we have great payoff shots too, where we're showing our coaches, our players. Kaepernick, I don't know if you saw our image that we released, but I mean, we have Kaepernick's tattoos, and that's that personality that shows through, and that helps us tell stories too.
Great. Well, I'm very excited to hear this story. Thank you so much for all of your time.
Thank you.
Check out Madden 15 and let me know what you think. Tweet at Anna Prosser with the hashtag GameSpotE3.